Let me share a little today. First, personal. Personal in the sense that I just jumped for 125 reps, box jumping at 95 centimeters. I'm not sure the exact purpose of this other than fitness, this newfound addiction of mine. And I know I've talked about it on the podcast some before, but if you've never box jumped, I don't care your age, your fitness level. I mean, if you're interested, you'll get into it. You'll figure it out. You'll start low and you'll work your way high if you're dedicated. But I got to tell you, not unlike my yoga practice, there's a certain high from box jumping to live for. There is something about it, the movement, the exertion to get your ass into the air. In a way, it's like being a little kid. In a way, it's like being a badass adult athlete. But I promise you that if you give it a shot and you really stick with it and you find some progress, you will thank me. It is one of those great physical addictions that we can all have. I want to start today with a certain mindset. Quite famous guy, but it's a great story, whether he's famous or not. And it goes something like this. He wanted to be a starting quarterback, and at Michigan, he wasn't starting. And he was so low on the depth chart, number 4, that he only got 2 reps in practice. With 3 quarterbacks standing in his way of getting what he wanted, Tom Brady decided to transfer. Tom Brady, the 7-time Super Bowl winning champion quarterback. Now we're talking about his college experience. So he went to his college coach to express the frustration that he was having. He said, look, the other quarterbacks get all the reps. The coach said, Brady, I want you to stop worrying about what all the other players on our team are doing. All you do is worry about what the starter's doing, what the second guy on the depth chart is doing, what everyone else is doing. You don't worry about what you're doing. The coach said to him, you came here to be the best. If you're going to be the best, you have to beat out the best. And then he recommended that Brady start meeting with Greg Harden, a counselor who worked in Michigan's athletic department. There's all these guys ahead of me on the depth chart, Brady told Harden. I'm never going to get a chance here. They're only giving me 2 reps. Harden replied, just go out there and focus on doing the best you can with those 2 reps. Make them as perfect as you possibly can. So that's what Brady did. They put him in for those 2 reps, and man, Brady would sprint out there like it was Super Bowl 39. Let's go, boys. Here we go. What play we got? And Brady started to do really well with those 2 reps because he brought enthusiasm. He brought energy. Using this new hardened technique, soon those 2 reps became 4 reps, then 4 to 10. And before you knew it, as Brady said, with this new mindset that Greg instilled in me to focus on what you can control, to focus on what you're getting, not what anyone else is getting, to treat every rep like it's the Super Bowl. Eventually, I became the starter, end quote. Look, you don't wake up and say you're going to be a billionaire. Doesn't work that way. I'm assuming everyone listening has a decent amount of intelligence. You can figure out the total number of billionaires on this planet, the total population, and realize your chances of achieving billionaire status are quite low. Your chance of achieving Tom Brady status is quite low. His is a great story. There's only one Tom Brady. But guess what? In life, you can pursue anything. And the markets are actually a great world of anything. Because the markets are always anything. And they're always there. And there's always new ones. Then some go away. More new ones appear. And opportunity abounds. So it might be really hard to be Tom Brady. It might be really hard to be Warren Buffett. It might be really hard to be the next billionaire. But you can become the millionaire. You absolutely can become that. That's hard work. And that hard work starts with the story that I just read you about Tom Brady. His mindset, not his outcome, his mindset is what you need. Don't fixate on Brady's outcome, just like they were telling him, don't fixate on the other quarterbacks ahead of you. Don't fixate on their outcome. If you got this mindset, you're going to go places. But now here's the deal. Once you got the mindset, you still need the technique. 2 emails came into me recently. Let me share. One writes to tell me that he's a junior trader quant at a high-frequency firm in Chicago. Says he's a big fan of my podcast, big believer in trend following and inefficient markets. Has a quick question. How do you determine what kind of regime environment a market is in? I think it's very important to establish if a market is trending, reverting, or random, as different strategies perform very well, very poorly in each kind of environment. But I'm not sure how to systematically identify these environments. Trend following is not high frequency trading. Trend following accounts for all environments. That doesn't mean you're going to make money in all environments, but trend following accounts for all environments. And let's take a step back. What the hell is an environment? I mean, each day is each day. Each day is different. As far as I know, there is no way to classify, quote, environments. And if you take a step back, what this question really implies is some form of prediction. Some form of, I can see into the future. Some form that this pattern equals that. Hey, he's kind enough to say he likes my podcast, believes in inefficient markets, but there is nothing that trend following and high frequency trading have in common. And I might argue, even though I am not a high frequency trader and I cannot profess to have all the wisdom of high frequency trading shops, I seriously doubt they define environments either. I'm sure they have their rules, and their rules say this price action requires us to do this. That price action requires us to do that. And that's it. Now they do that on scale at an extremely tiny time frame. But that's it. You take what you're given. You don't need to define it. I don't need to define the quote environment to be a trend following trader. There's no rule set that I've ever seen that says this environment, because the damn environment can change by the next day. So what you need are rules that adapt to each damn day as it comes. That's all you got. It's Buddhism 101, the moment of right freaking now. Not the moment of let me sit back and try and figure out what particular environment we're in or regime. Fuck, no one knows. If anyone knew about any of these kinds of questions, we would not be watching this shit show with the United States Federal Reserve for the last couple of years. No one knows. And if no one knows, what the hell can you do in that situation? You respond. You respond to the price movement, you follow the price movement, and you have a stop loss. Of course, you have risk management, but this is the damn deal. Trend following already accounts for everything you're going to face. Does that mean you're going to make money every minute? No, but it accounts for all the situations. Another reader writes me, "Hey, Michael, can trend followers use pullbacks as a way to enter a market?" I guess. I'm not sure why. If you're a trend following trader and you're trading on momentum, would not a buy stop into the market conceptually feel more like a probability in your favor, waiting for the market to, quote, pull back? Isn't that like saying, once I get stopped out, I'm going to enter? The pullback is the stop. Going in the opposite direction of the trend is the stop loss. It's not the entry point. This is trend following. This is momentum. This is not trying to buy cheap. This ain't your grandma at the freaking Kmart with the blue light special, dragging the kids around to find a deal on spam. I'm not saying that happened to me exactly like that, but let's say enough of something happened. It probably happened to you too. So fuck the blue light specials. Fuck the spam on sale. You want momentum. You are not in one market alone. You're looking at a diverse basket of markets. You're not betting on just gold or just Apple. That's not the deal. I should also add that when you hear a question like that, throw a little critical thinking at it. What the hell is a pullback? I mean, this person is nice enough. I'm not picking on them. I'm picking on the question. But it's asked in such a way that pullback is some defined something. I don't know what the hell it means. Sounds like the market's going against you. Are we talking about a fixed number, a percentage? Think. Everyone should think. Rub your hands together, put them to your forehead, feel a little heat, and think. Don't just parrot all the bullshit out there. But I got to tell you, there is a lot of bullshit out there. I mean, when I start to poke around at the cottage industry of assorted trading strategies, starting with, for example, candlesticks, man, I feel bad for some folks because the information flow, the nonsense flow, especially in technical analysis. I mean, there's literally no proof that most technical analysis is anything other than voodoo, reading the pig entrails of a dead animal like it's bullshit. There's no evidence. Of course, on the other hand, if you look at trend following and you want to look back over the last 75 years and you want to find track records of professional practitioners that have traded trend following methods, you can find those. Now, for people with a pulse, professional track records that go back a very long time add value. They add to your confidence. Now, some people don't need that. Some people walk into casinos in Vegas or Macau, and they think that they have the odds on their side when they play craps. And if you ever find someone that believes that, you can't ever get them to stop believing that. They will believe it till the day they die. This shit for people, whether it's trading, casinos, math, instead of just looking at it as math, it becomes a religion of their interpretation of math. Ladies and gentlemen, keep clear thinking. If you don't have clear thinking, the Grim Reaper is going to come for all of us at some point in time. But one day the Grim Reaper is going to come and he's going to take your money. One more thought to share on the markets. I caught a piece of the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting. And I think it was a young guy from Thailand that asked Buffett what he would do if he was starting over. And Buffett essentially said, I would get into reading all these reports about various companies that are thousands of pages long. And he would make 50% a year, was what he told this kid. And Buffett was using the example of railroads, assorted railroads, I don't know, 100 years ago, who knows? Look, Buffett is an amazing story. Super success. But if you're a young person today and you want to trade and information is essentially free and information is everywhere and markets are inefficient, a trend following momentum strategy is your only bet. It's your only direction because none of us really care where the money comes from. I mean, Paul Mulvaney did not know he was going to make a fortune on cocoa in 2024. He could not predict that. No one can ever predict the damn big move. You just take it. So Buffett could be 100% right. Maybe if he was to start over today, he could do 50% returns with the exact strategy that he used essentially 70 years ago starting out. He said, I think he was 20 or 21 when he did this, reading these railroad reports. You just have to compare that wisdom to other types of wisdom and then critically think it through. But critical thinking is not something that is spread widely these days. In my final example, I want to share a fun one. I posted on X today a Sports Illustrated cover of Paulina Poroskova from 1984. I believe I would have been a sophomore in high school. The woman is drop dead gorgeous. If you happen to be a 20-year-old man today or a 30-year-old man today, I feel sorry for you because you do not see this level of beauty across imagery today. Now, the reason I went back and I posted this was because someone shared with me the swimsuit issue for 2024. What is that, a 40-year difference? Wow. Amazing. So in 40 years, we've gone from a thin, beautiful woman to the current Sports Illustrated cover issue model in 2024 is a morbidly obese woman. Not an exaggeration, not said to be mean. She's morbidly obese. I asked, how can that happen? Why does that happen? I don't know if anyone has a really good answer yet. You can see the answers on my X account. I think my sister gave me the best perspective, though. She said to me, the Sports Illustrated issue, the swimsuit issue, is no longer for men. Fair point. It's not. I collected that damn issue from a young age. I mean, that was such a cool thing, right? To have the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue with this gorgeous girl on the cover. I don't know, I collected 10 or 15 issues, it was once a year. And now it's moved on to something else. And after I posted both pictures on X, I said, let me bring it back to behavior, which means the markets. Because if the world is this upside down on something as simple as beauty, then rest assured, markets ain't gonna ever be efficient. Too many people are batshit crazy. And that's fine, because you can trade batshit crazy. And that's what's cool about trend following. Because even though a lot of us might have common beliefs about societal rot, about civilization imploding, at the end of the day, all you can do is trade it. I mean, maybe one day there'll be this global civil war, this global cultural war. I can imagine it. But until that time, all you got are the markets, and you can trade batshit crazy. So if in 40 years we can go from a gorgeous, thin woman to a morbidly obese woman as the images of beauty, in a relatively short amount of time, it can change that much. Be excited, because the markets ain't going to ever be efficient. Not when people are that crazy. Now, as a little bit of a side tangent unrelated to trend following, I don't really think the standards of beauty have changed. I think what's happened, the gatekeepers that control some of these, quote, magazines or media, they want us to believe that beauty has changed. Now, we know it hasn't, but they still are out there pushing that message. They want everyone to believe that it's changed and that being morbidly obese is healthy. So here you are, you want to spend all this time to learn to be a trend following trader. You want to make all this money and what, die at 35 because you're morbidly obese? Listen, you got to have a pulse about the messaging out there. You got to have a pulse about what's really going on. And you got to have your eyes wide open. But at the end of the day, trend following is the only damn opportunity you got to navigate uncertainty, to navigate the unknown, to navigate chaos. Everything else is just bullshit.
I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.